Hey learners, I welcome you all with my full energy. And in today's lecture, we will going to discuss how to prepare journal entries, as we have discussed in previous lectures. Today we are taking a practical question to study journal entries. So here is one person. The person name is Bhola, and he is like a shop owner, and he made a company where he wants to record his financial transaction. Hence today we will going to discuss our journal entries for the books of Bhola Business Limited. So Bhola has taken lots of transaction in this month, and now what he wants to do is he wants to record all transaction in financial books. So we are in the part of preparation of journal entries. So we are making journal entries today in the books of Bhola Business Limited. So what are the transactions? You can find your transaction in your description box of your videos. So I will be taking transaction by transaction, all your entries. I will explain entries in short as compared to as like we have discussed in previous lecture. In previous lecture we have seen very detailed analysis of particular entries, but that is not possible for each and every lecture, because you have to develop your logical level and your understanding level to make journal entries at very speedy level. So to prepare journal entries, what should be the logic and how we can prepare with best of our logic, that we have seen in previous lecture. In today's lecture we will going to cover lots of entries, but you have to be very cautious because there are some new entries which you haven't seen yet. So let's start with our question. So Bhola Business Limited has lots of transaction in the year 2020, and month is November. So November, we can write here November, and OB short form November. So on 1st of November, what was the transaction? You can read transaction from your description box. So our first transaction is Bhola. Bhola means business owner received rupees 10,000 from father-in-law as gift. This is not transaction for Bhola Business Limited. So we will ignore this part, this line, because this is not the part of our business. This is the part of Bhola's personal life. So father-in-law has given 10,000 to Bhola, and now Bhola, we can read the other part of our question is received rupees 10,000 from father-in-law as gift and deposit the same means the same amount means rupees 10,000 into the account of business. Into the account of business means Bhola has received 10,000 from his father-in-law, and now Bhola wants to introduce that amount in the business. So what will be the logic for the preparation of journal entries? So in the business is getting money. Why? Because Bhola will provide rupees 10,000 to whom? To his business. So in the business, cash is coming in. Okay, again we can find here cash is coming and Bhola is giving. So we don't write Bhola's name in Bhola's business account. Instead of his name, we should use account name capital account. So cash is coming in. So you can apply here the rule of real account, and real account says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Cash is coming in, that's why cash will be debited. And capital means Bhola. Bhola is giver or receiver. Bhola personal account, and Bhola is giver. Bhola is providing rupees 10,000 to Bhola Business Limited. Okay, so capital account means Bhola account. Bhola is giver here. That means this should be credited. Bhola's account means capital account. Capital account will be credited. So what will be the entry? On 1st of November, we will going to pass our journal entry. Journal entry as like cash account debit to capital account rupees 10,000 rupees 10,000. So we have written here proper journal entry with proper format. In our format there are various columns. First one is for date, another one is for particulars, and this is LF. LF means ledger folio. We don't have ledger folio numbers, hence we can put it here dash, and debit column and the credit column. Debit amount will be written on the debit column and vice versa. Okay, so after writing entry, you have to make narration. Narrations means summary of this entry. What will be the summary? We have to put, while writing narration, we have to put being as prefix. Being, what happened in this question? Bhola introduced cash into the business. Simply we can write here, owner given cash to business. That is how we can prepare our journal entry and can write narration. We will now going to close this entry for preparing the other one. So we have completed first entry. Second transaction. Read second transaction. Second transaction is saying, which is on November 2nd November. So what is the transaction? Took loan from Mrs. Shalini. We have taken loan. From salary. That means Shalini will provide us cash. That means there will be again two account. Cash. Why cash? Because Shalini is giving cash. That means cash will come to the picture, and the other account is Shalini. So Shalini is personal account. Cash is real account. Cash is coming, and Shalini is receiver or giver. Apply logic. Someone is giving money to us. That means us means giving money to Bhola Business Limited. That's why Shalini will be giver, because she is giving money, providing money to business. That's why Shalini will be giver. Giver means personal account. What personal account says? Golden rule of personal account says debit the receiver, credit the giver. So Shalini is giver. That's why Shalini account will be credited and cash account will be debited. So our entry on 2nd November will be cash account debited. Why cash account debited? Because we have received cash from Shalini. And why Shalini will be credited? Because Shalini is giver to our business. And amount is 5,000. Done. What will be the narration? Being taken loan. We have taken loan from Shalini. That's why we are depicting here narration being taken loan from Shalini. Right? Okay. Again we will going to close this entry. Coming to the third entry. paid rent to landlord in advance. In advance means, again, in previous lecture we have seen what will be the entry for prepaid expenses. Before making this entry, you have to watch previous video. So we are giving rent in advance. That means we are giving rent. Rent is expense. Rent is expense. And we are giving rent means cash will go out. That means the other account is cash. So cash is, again, rent is nominal. We will hold to rent, but we will consider first cash. So cash is real account and we are giving. That means cash will go out. That means cash will be credited. Why credited? Real account says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So cash is going out here. That's why cash will be credited. And what about rent then? Rent is expense for us, but we have paid rent here in advance. So in advance, that we will write here prepaid rent, not rent only. There is prepaid rent, and prepaid rent is representation of particular person. This we will going to consider as personal account, representative personal account. So this is representation of whom? Of landlord. So landlord is person, and in this case landlord is a receiver or giver. We are paying money to someone. We are paying money to landlord. That's why landlord will be receiver of money. That's why landlord will be debited. But are we taking landlord as account here? No. We are considering prepaid rent account instead of landlord because of rule of representative personal account. So instead of landlord account, we will take prepaid rent account, and same treatment will be given to prepaid rent account as like landlord was landlord will be debited. That's why prepaid rent also will be debited. So instead of landlord, we are considering prepaid rent account. So prepaid rent account debit to cash, right? On 3rd of November we have paid rent in advance. That's why entry will be prepaid rent account debit to, we are giving cash. Cash is going out. That's why cash will be credited with amount of rupees 750. This is all and exact like these narration. You have to prepare narration for each and every transaction. We have limitation of time. That's why I cannot make narration for each and every entries, and I have to complete more and more entries in particular lecture. That's why I am making this video short by giving you to make narration by your own. So you have to prepare narration by your own. Done. So coming to the fourth entry. Fourth entry is saying received rent from subtenant. Subtenant means a person to whom we have given a space to use. So we have received rent here. Received rent. Again we will make logic here. Rent. Which rent? This rent is not for paid but for received. That's why rent received. Rent received is it personal account? No. Why? Because this is not depicting any personal account, person names. So what will be the next case then? No real account. Why this is not real account? Because rent is not my asset then, asset. That's why we have to consider it as nominal account. Why? Because nominal account's nature shows nominal account is for income and gains, expenses and losses. So this is income. This is income. Income means nominal account, and nominal account rule says debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gains. So rent received will be credited. So what will be the counter account for this? So we are receiving rent in form of cash. So again cash is coming. Cash is coming, and we know very famous account we are discussing again and again. Cash is coming in, and cash is real account. That's why cash will be debited. Cash will be debited. Cash will be debited. Rent received will be credited. We can write here entry. Cash account debit to rent received account. Rent received account, and the amount is 100 rupees. 100 rupees. Okay, and narration will be rent received in cash. I am not writing here, but you have to write. So our fifth transaction on 5th of November is paid for postal stamp. Postal stamp is pure expense for us, and we know what will be the entry for expenses. Nominal account says, nature of nominal account says debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gains. So postal stamp, PS means postal stamp, is expense, and nominal account says debit all expenses and losses. The expense will be debited. What will be credited then? We are paying cash, so we know what is the entry for cash. So cash is going out. Cash is going out means cash will be credited. Why? Because real accounts rule says debit all debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So cash is going out here, that's why cash will be credited. So postal account is expense, that's why postal stamp will be debited. Postal stamps account debited to cash is going out, that's why cash will be credited. Amount will be rupees 10. Okay. Rupees 10. So this is how we can prepare journal entries. Okay. Fifth, we have completed fifth. Now we are on sixth. So commission due from Gupta. Have we received commission yet? Have we received cash? No. But commission is due. Commission is due from Gupta. Is there written commission due to Gupta? No. There is written commission from Gupta. We used to receive income and pay expenses, and here we can say if here is like due to Gupta, that means that will be expense for us, but we are receiving from Gupta, that means this is income for us. So commission received will be my income, and nominal account says debit all expenses, losses, and credit all income and gains. So commission received will be credited. So what will be the debit amount? Debit amount will be from Gupta. Why? Gupta here providing us commission. We know that although he hasn't provided us cash, but he will be providing us in future date. Accrual concept says you have to record transaction when it accrues. Okay, so we have to give importance to Gupta account. So Gupta here, receiver or giver? Gupta is giver of commission. Gupta is giver of commission. That means Gupta will be debited. Why? Personal account said debit the receiver, credit the giver. So So our entry will be Gupta account will be debited and commission received will be credited. But the suspense here is this is not the cash basis entries. We have to accrue this transaction by passing journal entry Gupta's account debit to commission received account, and amount will be rupees 40. Done. Please focus on journal entries because these all are the basic entries. If you will not concentrate here, you will not able to make advanced entries. Okay, so we are on the 7th of November. So on 7th of November, what happened? Old typewriter of rupees 1000 is stolen. Okay, this is somewhat unique, we haven't seen yet. So till now we were making journal entries for transactions. We are making journal entries for transaction, but in the on the 7th of November, what happened? Old typewriter has been stolen by someone. So what will be the journal entry for this transaction? Although this is not the transaction, but this is a loss. And as I am repeating again and again the types of account, personal, nominal, real and real, you should be clear with all types of accounts. So losses will be covered by real, personal or nominal account. It will be covered by nominal account. So what nominal account says? Debit all expenses and losses. Debit all expenses and losses. So we will going to debit our loss. So how we can prepare account here? Old typewriter is stolen. Stolen means this is our loss. That means we will going to write loss of old typewriter account. Loss of old typewriter account. What will be the amount for this entry is the value of old typewriter was rupees 1000. So we have incurred loss of rupees 1000. This will be debited. Why? Because nominal account says debit all expenses and losses. That's why loss of old typewriter will be debited. So what will be credited then? The credited amount will be old typewriter. Why old typewriter? Why old typewriter? Again we will going back to our origin, that means our types of account. Nominal is loss. Nominal says expenses, losses, income and gains. Personal says debit, receivers and givers, and real account says about assets. So old typewriter was my asset, and because someone has stolen this asset, that asset has gone from our book. Okay, so debit what comes in, real account says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So typewriter is going out here, that's why typewriter will be credited. This is like one of the unique entry. You have to concentrate on this. You can get these types of entries in your assignment and your test, and as well as in your final exams. So entry will be loss of old typewriter account debit rupees 1000. to old typewriter. Old typewriter account. It will be credited with rupees 1000. We are now on the middle of the our problem. We have still remain around 8 to 10 entries again, more 8 10 entries more. So we will going to discuss all these entries in next lecture, but you have to put concentration on these entries. If you have any doubt, you can simply ask me to clear your doubts. You can call me, you can put messages to clear all types of doubts. You will be getting your assignment on these types of journal entries, and you have to prepare your assignment in this format only. So this lecture is somewhat important for you, and you have to concentrate on journal entries, otherwise you will not able to get what is financial account, and that will be more difficult to you to tackle exams in nearer future. So till then, be happy and thank you.